Good morning, and thanks for joining me as we take a look at Binance this morning and understand their assets under management as it relates specifically to Digibyte. Important to note here that this isn't all of Binance's addresses. This is their main addresses. They have undoubtedly thousands more, as we've seen them consolidate addresses many times before into these larger cold storage wallets. And so we'll take a look individually at each one and start to understand how they operate. Really, my intent is only to show how it is possible to verify all of this information on the blockchain and to highlight that Binance actually does own coins and actually does transact, from my perspective, properly as it relates to moving coins and providing liquidity to other exchanges, as I do believe there are some exchanges who don't own any Digibyte. And I believe there are some exchanges who sell more Digibyte than they have under management. I do not believe that to be the case for Binance, however. And so we're going to take a look at exactly why I believe that Binance is operating, at least from this perspective, 100% on the level. So as of this morning, Binance has about 3.2 billion in these five wallets. There are five wallets here. Like I said, there are multiple thousands more, but these are the main, essentially, places that their Digibyte is being held. This is the number one wallet everybody's pretty familiar with, and wondered for a very long time whose it was. I can confidently say it's Binance's. Whether it's under management means that potentially this is all owned by account holders that hold their Digibyte on Binance. Some of it could potentially be owned by Binance. There's no way to know unless they were to report how much of it is their account holders and how much of it is theirs. But they do, at the very least, have 3.2 billion under management. So, in this number one wallet, 2.4 billion Digibyte, and we'll take a look at that on the chain here real quick. That is this address right here. So you can see 2.4 billion ranked number one. And if you look, they had one SYN transaction, by the way. This SYN transaction was just providing liquidity for Binance's hot wallet, and then some of it ends up in that number three wallet, but I'm not going to dive in just yet. If you were to look at the history of this wallet, you can see those consolidations I was talking about. In another thread on Twitter, I provide a little bit of detail in terms of how thousands of wallets were consolidated in the span of minutes into these addresses. That's part of how I know that these are Binance's, at least they're under management by Binance. And then here you have your hot wallet. Your hot wallet is where most retail transactions are processed from. They also provide liquidity to other exchanges like Crypto.com, LA Token, and a number of others directly through this wallet. So this particular wallet has done 14 billion in volume. That is 14 billion Digibyte moving into or out of that particular wallet since inception. Presently, it's at 75 million Digibyte. A week ago, it was about 145 million. That's not new or interesting information. That's pretty much commonplace in terms of how that hot wallet operates, and we'll take a look at that real quick. Let's see. I'll just jump in here now. It's down to 76 million. You can see there's that 14 billion in transactional volume, and if we were to look at it over time, again, pretty simple. They put it in, it goes out. They'll put some more in, it'll go out. It's a hot wallet. That's what it's supposed to do, right? So not new information there. And then you can see the number three wallet here. So number three wallet's got 474 million Digibyte in it. I included this other wallet here as kind of a secondary wallet. Only has 9.9 million left in it, but I included it to point out that the funds in this wallet actually came most recently from this wallet, and you can kind of see how that works out. But yeah, this is one of those addresses that when they did the wallet consolidation or the address consolidations, they went into this particular wallet, and then just a couple of weeks ago, they moved into this wallet here, and I'll show you that on chain real quick. Here we go. So here it is, 474 million Digibyte in that address. You can see it only has one transaction. If we were to open up the details of that transaction, you can see it came from this particular wallet. And if we go back in time, because that's always fun, you can kind of see how that works out in terms of consolidating addresses. I'm not going to go through each and every one, but I can tell you if we were to follow it all the way back, we would follow and find that they were all Digibyte from Binance accounts. So they swept them all into one big address. Again, I believe this is primarily to be able to easily prove the amount of assets under management. CZ has called for this recently, that he believes other exchanges and his own should be able to provide clarity as to what assets they have under management, and I believe they were preparing for that. And then you have another older cold storage wallet. It's got about 199 million Digibyte in it. Again, if you go back and look at the history of this address, it has provided liquidity for that main hot wallet a couple of times in its past. So 3.2 billion under management at Binance. It's super easy to be able to go through, and once you kind of understand how it all works, to validate all of this on-chain activity and be able to see the network of transactions and how the cold storage addresses interact with the hot wallet, and then be able to see how they provide liquidity for other exchanges. If you were to process your own transaction, this hot wallet is where you would find that transaction. So if you were withdrawing from Binance, this is where you'd actually be able to go in and take a look at it coming directly out of their hot wallet and into yours. And so several of you have provided detailed information as to when and what amount you withdrew from Binance. And I was able to share with you what your address is, because ultimately you can just go back to the block and find it. So pretty cool tool. If you haven't played with it yet, I would just encourage you. It's important that we understand we want coins to move. We want people to be able to take custody of their coins and full responsibility for how they interact with the market. That's kind of the point of the place, and I'm appreciative that Binance here operates with a bit of clarity. It would be nice if they published these addresses on their website for all to see. But until then, I mean, we can see on chain just by kind of following transactions from my own wallet back to Binance, who's who and who's operating on a level. And I believe Binance, at least from their ownership perspective and their willingness to provide liquidity to other exchanges, is 100% on the level as it pertains to assets under management. And I contrast this to Uphold, where Uphold has published that they had $6 million worth of Digibyte, which is about half a billion Digibyte, and I just don't see it here in any of these addresses that this potentially could be an exchange. Now, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but until they provide an address or allow for withdrawals that would allow us to backtrack and find their holdings, I believe it's dubious at best. So we'll wait for confirmation. That's kind of the point of all this, is being able to clearly see what is occurring in the marketplace and trust that what somebody is saying is 100% real. And so as I share with you my understanding of things, I can be wrong. And ultimately, I'm hopeful that one of you would be able to point out where I'm wrong. As we learn together, we get stronger without a doubt. And every little piece of information we can add creates a larger picture for us all to operate within. That's all I got for you today, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Till then, keep preaching self custody, keep helping people understand the importance of on chain transactions and holding others accountable to providing transparent transactional information. Thanks. Have a great day.